Just what are you doing?
I'm going to rewire this.
Please don't.
Okay, listen, I don't know jack about rewiring this, but I do know about rewiring your brain. Pay attention to this next thing. I'm going to show you how to rewire your brain to get the most out of it. Come on. So how to literally rewire your brain. And I don't mean that as a metaphor, how to change the wiring of your brain. Listen, when you change your brain, when you rewire your brain, so to speak, you actually change your personal transformation. When you're rich, and what I mean by that is rich in mind, body, and soul, and happy, you're going to be a different person than you are right now. How does that happen? It happens by you thinking differently. When you think differently, you actually change the wiring of your brain. Much like the wires on this console here, your brain is set up the same way. There's actually connections in your brain. The human brain has 100 billion neurons, and each time you learn something new, your brain generates more neurons and connects them to the others. This growth can continue as you age, contributing to your happiness, your health, and your longevity. What does that mean? Inside your brain, you have connections from one side of the brain to the other side, from one hemisphere to the other hemisphere. It's not just electrical currents, it's actual physical connections. And those connections, I want you to look at them as like wires. And just like that thing over here, they get plugged in. When you learn stuff, they get plugged in and they grow. I'm sure you're going to agree with me. We live in some of the most remarkable times in all of human history. Technology has grown leaps and bounds, quantum leaps, just over the last few years. In groundbreaking new brain science, neurobiologists have been able to observe neurons through a video microscope growing and forming new dendrites. This research is revolutionary because it shatters the myth that as we age, brain cells die and cannot regenerate. Today, we know that the brain can rewire and that certain regions remain highly dynamic throughout our lives. At the risk of sounding arrogant, I'm going to use myself as an example. You know, when I was a kid, I used to think that 30 years old was old. And I would see people that were 40s and 50s and 60s, and I'd see them, you know, they're kind of creeping along, and they don't have great memories, and they're not functioning as well as they are. Well, listen, I'm 68 years old now. I'll be 70 in just a couple years old, in a couple years. And I know, and I learned this a long time ago, that the more I do things like reading and exercising my brain and doing the things that I'm talking about right now and rewiring my brain and doing the exercise I'm going to show you here in a little bit, then here's what happens. I stay alert. And I model myself after what are called centenarians. And those are people that are 100 years older, 100 years or older. There's a 114-year-old man that I saw years ago, and this guy was sharp and he was bright. And some of the things that he does are some of the things I'm going to show you here as well. Your brain is there, and it's always waiting for you to teach it new things and always willing and waiting for you to make it grow and make those new neuro associations. The brain actually grows. So let me tell you a real quick story. Silly story, but you're going to understand why I'm telling you. So there was this man, and he was sitting in his house, and all of a sudden he gets this phone call, and it's from his friend. He says, "Hey man, turn on the news." He says he turns on the news, and then here's what happens. They say that there's a flood coming. Get to higher ground. And the guy's a very religious guy. He says, "Well, no, you know what? I'm going to pray to the Lord, and the Lord will save me. I'm not going to worry about it." So he does. All of a sudden, here comes the flood. It comes up to his doorstep. His friends come along in a four-wheel drive truck, and they say, "Man, get in the truck. Come on, we're going to higher ground." He goes, "Nope. I've been praying to the Lord. The Lord is going to save me." They go, "Get in the truck." And he goes, "Nope, I'm going to stay." They go off. All of a sudden, it comes up and it floods his house. And some guys come away in a boat, and they go, "Listen, man, the floods are coming. Get in the boat. Let's go to higher ground." He goes, "Nope, I believe that the Lord is going to save me." They get in the boat. He doesn't. He waits. Pretty soon, it comes up, floods him out, and he's sitting on his roof. And a helicopter comes down and throws a ladder down and says, "Climb on the ladder, let's get out. You're going to die. You're going to drown." He goes, "Nope, I've been praying to the Lord is going to save me." And of course, the floods come and the guy drowns and dies. And there he is standing at the pearly gates talking to God. And he goes, "God, what happened?" He said, "I prayed to you. I believed that you were going to save me." And God said, "Look, I sent you a phone call. I sent you a truck. I sent you a boat and a helicopter. Take advantage of it. Do something about it." That's a silly story. But I'm going to give you an exercise now, and this is an exercise that's going to help you. This is your phone call and your boat and your truck. for you to do. And if you do these things, what is going to happen is you're going to start to rewire your brain. Now, this is an exercise that I call remembering your brain. First thing I want you to do is I want you to think about this. To dismember means to take apart. To remember means to put back together. And in this case, we are going to put your conscious with your unconscious and remember it. And what that means is this: everything that you've ever touched, tasted, smelled, and experienced in your life is in your unconscious brain somewhere. But your conscious brain can't always remember it, always can't think about it. Think about it. When you lose your car keys and you find them and you go, oh, that's where they were. What happened was, it was in your unconscious brain. You knew where they were. But when you finally find them, you connect those two together, your conscious brain and your unconscious brain. Or when you're thinking about where it was, oh, I remember. You've actually grown it. Remember what we said before. You've actually created new neural associations. Your brain is actually growing new neural associations. You're actually creating new pathways that go. And so the quickest way to do that, or a very effective way of doing that, is to remember things. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab a book that you've read before. It doesn't matter whether it's an article or a book or something that you've read before. And as you read that book, like I'll give you an example. I read Think and Grow Rich, and I used to read that book every year from the time I was 30 years old, the time I was 19 years old till the time I was like 35 years old, and I still read it like every 2 or 3 years. And every time I read it, here's what happens. Every time I read it, I go, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I forgot that I remember that. Oh yeah. And what happens is every time you go, oh yeah, new neural associations. New neural associations. And at the end of that, so you're gonna read and all you're gonna do is read maybe 5 pages a day. Get a book or something that you've seen before, and as you're doing that, every time you go, oh yeah, put a smile on your face. And as you do, because remember, anytime we smile, we release those feel-good chemicals that make us feel good. The brain goes, oh, let's do it again. And it creates more neural associations. And then at the end of it, go pat yourself on the back, do a little silly dance, smile or something like that, and give yourself credit for it. And what you're happening, remember, it's like wax on, wax off. What's happening is your brain is, through the remembering process, is actually growing. And what you're going to find yourself doing is your memory is going to improve, for one, but you're going to also find yourself becoming more and more sharp. You have something called your reticular activating system in your brain. Your eyes are going to find more things. You're going to see more things, and you'll become more and more sharp. And your curve, your trajectory in terms of your brain activity will go up versus going down. It's a great exercise. So some of you are going to say this is silly and that it's too simple and it doesn't work. Here's all I got to say is just try it on. I call it the overcoat theory. Try it on, wear it around for a while. See if it fits. If it works for you, that's great. And if you can use it to change the quality of your life, that's even better. Performing exercises is more important than any knowledge that you can obtain. The honeybee doesn't even know that it's pollinating the flowers as it goes from plant to plant looking for honey. It just performs the process of gathering food. Likewise, if he knew that he had a larger purpose, he might work himself to death trying to achieve something that was naturally occurring and that he was doing already. And so you're probably starting to figure it out already. It's not just letting things happen, we're actually doing things. And when you do something deliberately, then you're going to get a result. And so if you're up for, which I know you are, you want to grow your brain and you want to level up even more, click on the link because I got a great book for you and it's absolutely free. It is my gift to you for free. It's called Awesome Sauce. And in it, there are going to be exercises, there's things that you can do that are not only going to enhance your brain, but enhance your creativity, and enhance your effectiveness, and enhance how you feel about yourself. Click on the link, get the book, use it, and watch yourself grow. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button and also ring the bell so you'll be notified of the new videos that I've got coming up. And watch this next video. You're going to love it.